I really think that could be a real issue. That mountain burns every year. So
Would you like to craft some conditions and we can go ahead and add them to the resolution?
I don't know the type of conditions that we could probably put on there, other than additional clearing of the hillside,
We could do that.
or maybe, I don't know what is standard, a 10-foot clearance from the
It's
drive?
usually about 15, yeah.
If I may, the city's development code requires a certain amount of landscaping. I believe it's 15% of your lot has to be landscaped. I'm sure the owner would be amenable to providing an alternative, whether it's xeriscape or some additional hardscape, and maybe keep the foliage down if that would help. If that's something that you're able to allow us to work with the planning staff and do an inspection prior to a final occupancy.
I think that would be an outstanding idea, because I know that mountain burns every year. So if you've got foliage up there, it will burn, and having assisted living people, that many in that facility, it's going to be real hard to get them out.
So we would maintain the planter areas, we'll say. So, whether it's the 15% is planter area, but we'll work with staff on what we put inside those planters to keep that density of foliage down.
Maybe it should be something like that desert landscape with rock or
We could do
something
that.
along that line.
We also have a condition in number 54 in the resolution that talks about the roadways and the cul-de-sac, and it also preludes to the fire safety overlay district. So we will have to follow the fire safety overlay district for design. So that will be addressed, but we can also add your condition as well.
Is that something that the entire commission is asking for? Okay.
I'm going to base my recommendation on the fire department's recommendation, to be honest with you. I think that in a lot of areas, we have a lot of foliage. It's just kind of part of the way it works. But I think hardscape would be nice, but it's not necessarily a requirement if the fire department is saying that it's okay to move forward.
Perhaps a compromise, Commissioner Kuo, could be to condition yearly landscape maintenance. I live on a hill. I maintain my property yearly, brush clearance, maintain a fire boundary around the property. I mean, if I'm in an assisted living, I don't want to look at rock. I'm trying to get better, So, Mr. Mojica, that's,
I think that would work.
we can add a condition for yearly,
Like maintenance to make sure that it's cleared.
yeah, maybe a fire break.
We could do that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a standard condition of approval that talks about maintenance of your landscaping
Yeah, I
anyway.
did see
We could
that
do
in
a
the
little extra.
conditions, but there wasn't like a 10-foot, or
Got
it
it.
didn't provide a specific
Right.
footage.
Threshold or-
Yes,
right.
Okay.
yes. Is that
You got it.
Okay,
Some special attention to that, yeah.
sure. Are there any other discussion by this commission? Commissioner Garcia?
I just had a question or comment. Would it make sense to perhaps update the fire access road and just identify nearby fire hydrants, or do we have a fire riser in this building?
Yeah, so that'll be all addressed in the fire department's review of their final plans. So there should already be hydrants that are called out, the access road. I mean, they're gonna have to have their turnaround up there for a 26-foot if it's over 150 linear feet in length. So they're gonna be looking for all that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hearing no other discussion, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd be prepared to make a motion to move forward with staff's recommendation, given the additional comments made by Commissioner Quill.
Is that clear to staff?
Yes, it is. We will add the conditions.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Chair Sherrick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill,
Yes.
Commissioner Daly,
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Galandi.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, staff.
Thank you. Item number 3.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. I am Chantel Choi, Senior Planner with the Planning Division. I'm here to present item number 3, Conditional Use Permit 2313. Conditional Use Permit 2313 is a request to construct a self-storage facility on a parcel containing 1.74 acres. The project site is located on the north side of West Highland Avenue, east of North California Street, and south of West 23rd Street within the Commercial General 1 zone. Here we have the zoning map. The project site is located within the Commercial General 1 zone. The sites to the west and the east is also within the Commercial General 1 zone. The project site, the sites to the north is within the residential suburban, and to the south we have the 210 freeway. The site is currently vacant. To the west, we have the Dollar General. To the east, there is a single-family home. To the north, it's a vacant site, and then to the south is the 210 freeway. The proposed project is a 97,705 square foot, 3-story self-facility. The hours of operation will be 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Sundays. Within our development code per section 19.06.030, storage facilities located adjacent to residential districts shall have their hours of operation restricted to 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Sundays. So they are abiding by that restriction. There will be at least 2 employees on site per shift. The site will have ingress and egress access from one existing shared 38 feet wide driveway off of West 23rd Street, and direct ingress/egress access from one existing shared 53.5 feet wide driveway off of West Highland Avenue. There will be 11 parking stalls, which will include 1 ADA. The proposed height of the building will be 38 feet. Structures within the Commercial General 1 zone allows for a height increase if the project site abuts a freeway subject to the conditional use permit. So this site does abut a freeway. That's why it is going up to 38 feet. Here we have a picture of the site from West 23rd Street. You see that it is vacant. This will be from West Highland Avenue. Here we have the site plan. You see they will share access with the Dollar General to their site. They do have an access agreement. The site will be enclosed with 6-foot high block wall along West 23rd Street that will have vines just to mitigate any graffiti or anything like that. And also there will be 6-foot high wrought iron fencing around the west side and the south side of the facility. The landscaping, there will be landscaping within the site, trees, especially along the side that has the single-family home to the west. Here we have the floor plan. The ground floor is the only, they will only have outside access on the ground floor area. You see the outer storage areas will have the outside access, and there will also be interior access as well on the ground floor. On the second floor, it will be all interior. And also on the third floor, it will be all interior access. Here we have the elevations facing the north and south, and the west and east elevations. The staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopts resolution number 2025-016, finding the project categorically exempt pursuant to section 15332 and field development projects in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, and approving conditional use permit 23-13 based on the findings of facts and subject to the recommended conditions of approval. I did want to add in for our there was some changes to, it was a minor change to the resolution. So on page 3 of the resolution, that talks about the environmental determination, point number 4, where it says the determination of CEQA exemption reflects the independent judgment of the Development Environmental Review Committee. That was a mistake. It should read the Planning Commission. That concludes staff presentation. The applicant is here if you have any questions.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:30. I have a speaker with Ben Jones, who represents the applicant.
I'm Ben Jones, thank you. I represent Store and Lock. We are the developers partnering with the owners of this parcel who are with us here tonight. We also have the architect with us as well to be able to answer any questions that you may have. Store and Lock, just as a point of reference, has been in business since 1979, has built 26 facilities in 4 states. 23 currently in operation. Over the years, we have sold off, I guess in the early years, sold off some of these projects. We have 3 here in the Southern California area. We have 1 in Palm Desert, 1 in Redlands, and 1 in Rancho Cucamonga. We do not have anything yet in San Bernardino. So with that, I'm open to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I also have a Spencer Hall representing the applicant. Is there any questions by the commission?
Hi, my name is Spencer Hull with the ownership. Just to give a brief history on this land site, just because we've had a lot of workings in the city of San Bernardino. I am a commercial real estate broker by trade. I work for a company called Lee & Associates, and it's my job to help landowners and property owners fill space, whether that's selling land or developing land. And so we've represented this site and the neighboring site to the west and to the north for the last 17 years. We've been marketing it diligently, not the good old college try, the good old 20 years of professional experience and my business partner's 47 years of professional experience. We were successful in helping the 6th Ward bring the Dollar General. We said, hey, we don't want to just throw up a layup and do what we think is easiest. We want to do what's best for the community. So we were able to bring that Dollar General to the local area. And then we were also successful recently selling the north side piece to be developed for 19 single-family homes. So we are bringing housing to the area, we are bringing retail to the area, and now we have this strange-shaped little lot that is doesn't have great street visibility, doesn't have great frontage, is only accessible one way on Highland. We have marketed it for 17 years, and the last 3 years we have elected to put it out there for lease as well. We purchased the site from the previous developers because they got to where they were too old and they didn't want to do it anymore. And so me and my business partner, Rick, said, we will take it on and we will try to do it ourselves. And we have had a difficult time getting it filled. And so the last 3 years have been dedicated towards retail drive-through pads, 2 drive-through pads. We have never marketed it for a mini storage facility. That was never the intent. The intent was to bring retail to the area. And we have been shot down. We have marketed to any famous retailer that you would like to add to the list. We have spoken with and discussed and tried to bring them to this community. And we're not saying that the community's not worthy of it. We're just saying we are at that point where we said, let's bring in someone that's more capable than us, that can develop it. And so we've brought in a mini storage partner, and not a self-storage partner that is an average self-storage partner. We are very proud of this group. We help them with their Redlands location, help them buy the land for that site as a brokerage team, not as a developer. And they bring a better quality product than anyone else I've seen in Southern California. And so if I'm going to be presenting saying, please consider this CUP for this weird shaped piece of land that we can't get anyone else to use for a self-storage facility, I feel very proud to stand beside Store & Lock and their ability to develop a quality product for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple questions.
Yes.
What were some feedback that you got from the other companies that you went out to try to market it?
Yeah, so a lot of the drive-through locations for restaurant pads, they didn't like the fact that we could only get access from Highland Avenue from one side of the road. We also are tucked in so far behind that 210 that the exposure is not visible until you almost pass the site. From the side that you're allowed to access it from, you have to drive underneath the freeway overpass. And then as soon as you get through, there's only maybe 50 feet of frontage. I don't have the exact number, but it's very small.
Yeah.
And so you almost miss it. And we don't get a dedicated driveway for ourselves. We have a shared driveway with the group that we helped develop before with the Dollar General. So we have reciprocal access rights to their driveway, which is great. We appreciate it. But because of that unique access, that was our biggest disqualifier for most of our retailers.
And then you said that this storage facility is kind of set apart from other storage facilities. And what makes them that way?
I mean, maybe I'm biased, but if you were to go to the city of Redlands, where they're currently located off of Wabash, you'll see a brand new facility that we helped sell the land for, and that's not the Store & Lock facility. We sold that land to another developer, and they decided to build it. I didn't decide to build it, and they put up their product, and it's a nice product. And then you look at the Store & Lock facility that they built there probably 18 years ago, and although one is much newer, I feel like one is just a much more professional representation of what it could be. Some retail or some storage facilities will say it's going to be a concrete box with roll-up doors. And if you look at the schematics and the drawings of it, you see there's glasswork on it, there's color, there's pop-outs, you'll see different elevations on it. It's just a better quality product than you'll see in most self-storage facilities, in my humble and very biased opinion.
Thank you.
You're
Any
welcome.
questions? Co-Chair Kuo?
Yes, I have a comment, actually. I think the design is very attractive, and I think it will be it will add to people driving in and out of our city, the visibility off of the freeway. I think it's an attractive building, and I appreciate you bringing the project forward.
Yeah, we appreciate your time and your consideration. And again, we didn't want to come to you and say, let's take these 5 or 6 some odd acres and bring a giant facility of storage. In our partner studies, more than enough need for this size facility in the area.
Thank you. Rick Lazar is also representing the applicant.
Commissioners, thank you for allowing me to speak this evening, and I appreciate your time. I echo the comments of my business partner, Spencer. I wanted to give you just a little history of our family and the San Bernardino Valley. I'll keep it as brief as possible. In 1922, my father, that was a long time ago, my father came to San Bernardino from Egypt. And I miss him terribly. He was a great guy. And he didn't hardly have any money in his pocket, but he saw the opportunity here in San Bernardino. So he established himself. In the 1930s, he opened a car dealership, Cadillac dealership on 731 South or Northeast Street. After that, and during World War II, he closed the business and honorably served in Europe and North Africa for the U.S. Army. In 1945, he came back, and at that time decided to reopen the business and kept it going until 1970 when he sold it. I had a wonderful opportunity to grow up in this community. I was born at St. Bernardine's Hospital. I went to local schools, and we've kept a presence now. If you think about it, it's now been 103 years of our family being in the San Bernardino Valley. We're not newcomers. We're not coming from some other community and then going back. We're here. We've made an investment. We own this property ourselves, and we have done our best. As Spencer Hall, my partner, mentioned, we've gone out of our way to find good retailers that want to go there. And again, we did bring in Dollar General. We did bring in the residential that hopefully be developed soon into 19 single-family lots. So we're very excited about the things that we're doing, and we're committed to the area. Longtime member of the San Bernardino Chamber of Commerce. And so we're committed to this community. I also am a commercial real estate broker, and Spencer and I both partner in transactions. And the vast majority of the deals that I do are located in San Bernardino. We just really are committed to this community. So I wanted to mention that, and it's no sense in me rehashing all the things that Spencer has said. I concur with those. We made our efforts. It's a very difficult site to be developed for any other type of use, and we've tried to minimize it and split it up in a way that we could honor the property with some retail, some residential, and for this project. We're constantly working to keep the property clean. There's unhoused people that constantly want to set up a site and to live there, and we have to get rid of them. And the code enforcement is on our case all the time to do that, and we don't have a problem doing it. And trash is dumped on our site constantly. So we are always trying to stay on top of those issues. I know there may be people here that are in opposition saying, why are not we bringing more retail to the area? Well, I think we're bringing a pretty good mix, and we're proud of it. We're long-term owners. We will be partnering with Store & Lock when this is developed, and we hope to own it for many more years to come as we go through our second century here, the beginning of it in this area. So just to let you know, we're just not here to do this and say bye-bye. We're here for a long time to come, hopefully, Lord willing. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I do thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Any questions? Carlos oh, sorry, you had a question? Commissioner Garcia?
Some questions for the applicant. I was looking at the landscape plan. I did want to state I'm for the project. However, I'm seeing some trees that are abutting next to the neighbor's property, and those seem like trees that grow very rapidly. I have a neighbor in the city that has palm trees, and all his leaves dump onto my property, and it's not fair for me to clean up his trees. So I just wanted to mention if you guys can reconsider these tree species, or maybe move them from the right side to the left side, because even the landscape width on that strip on the right side is pretty narrow. Looks like you only have less than 5 feet, and those trees there, based on my research, grow 25 to 35 feet.
Hi, I'm Carlos Vargas. I'm the applicant's architecture firm representative. We usually try to maintain the landscape like the client will make sure that the landscape will be well kept. The trees are located on that border of the sides, mostly for the purpose of wrapping around the perimeter wall, for the purpose of blocking, like making it a little bit more visually pleasing and avoid any vandalism for graffiti, which is one of the biggest concerns that the city have. Because of the amount of space that these trees have, as you say, is narrow, we don't think that these trees are gonna grow as much as you're thinking it would. But if you feel more comfortable, we can take some conditions in regards to how maintaining this, and that those bordering plants are maintained and well kept within our property.
So my question is, are you guys willing to reconsider the tree species, maybe go to a shorter height tree?
We can,
And-
we can consider that. I know that the city have code requiremements on the amount of landscaping and mostly on the setback. So I'm pretty sure we can work with the planning department to see what best works for, per your requests and what follows
And-
the code.
And the other question is, does your plan detail show like a tree root barrier? Because I know there's a block wall there too. I'm kind of just trying to be a good neighbor to the neighbor.
Yeah.
Like I said, I live in the city, and a neighbor, it's my neighbor, he has palm trees, all kinds of trees. I have to go up there and prune his branches. They don't even belong to me.
Yeah, once we get into the construction documents, we provide notes, or the landscape architect will provide notes in regards to root barriers. And if I believe, usually she selects plants, planting and trees that are not too abrasive in regards to how much it expands root-wise, because of not only the space, but the consideration of the limitation of the property.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just present myself. I'm Carlos Vargas. I work with Magellan Architecture. We have designed several heavily self-storage projects throughout the state of California, in other states as well. We have several projects in Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm the one personally designing the elevations, so I take proud of what I come with, or what with the purpose of not only change the perspective of what you think of self-storage when it's mentioned, because usually cities think of like the typical, like one story is just like roll up doors and that's it. But we're always trying to innovate, with keeping in mind the applicants or the clients' wishes of how much we can push. But I'm the one that will always push with the design and how the building looks and how it works within the site. As the previous speaker and the owner, the entry point was a challenge, so we always try to combine the design aspect with the functionality of the layout.
Thank you, Mr. Vargas. You have another question?
I just wanted to add, if I can add to the conditions of approval, to reconsider the tree species on that side.
Can we go with the remaining speakers first?
Yep.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Dolores Armstead?
Good evening, Commissioners. I think you should have this paper that I prepared for you. San Bernardino has 25, you see 27, 25 storage units in the city of San Bernardino. The two in Highland was just to show you that Highland Avenue has 7 on Highland Avenue. More than 30% of those storage units are in the 6th ward. Why? All within a mile of each other. We've got how many storage units in the 6th ward within a mile of each other? And this is the best we could do, is coming up with another 3-story high wall of concrete. Oh, you hire 2 people per shift. Big whoopee. Look at that. If it's that great to have, why don't you put one in the 3rd ward? They got none. How about the 5th ward and 7th ward? They only have 3. Why don't you share the dirt? Let them have some 3-story high storage unit, so those people can look at a wall of concrete every morning. This is a prime property on Highland Avenue. There are 19 new homes going in. We are down the street from another fairly new housing development. We've got the senior housing on Highland a little further down. We got a hospital. I'm sure that they would love to have something besides another storage unit. Maybe he's not marketing to the right people, I don't know. But do we need another storage unit, 3 stories high, another wall of concrete in the 6th ward? Put it in another ward if it's that great. The 6th Ward does not need another storage unit, especially on prime property on Highland Avenue. I put the two in the city of Highland so you could see how many are on Highland Avenue. And the ones on Highland Avenue in San Bernardino, they're all in the 6th Ward. Why? Within less than a mile of each other. So you want to do another one? You see how many storage units we have. I'm sure there are quite a few vacancies in them. We don't have that much junk being stored in all these storage units. Share the dirt. That's what we're saying. Share the dirt. Let some of these other wards have this. We don't need it on a prime property, and especially the 6th Ward. We already have 30% of your storage units. Now we get to have another one instead of something that these people would like to see. New homes, a hospital, the senior housing, they would like to see something besides a storage unit. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no other speakers for this item, is that correct? Does the commission have any more questions for the applicants? No. Okay, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:50 for discussion by the commission. Commissioner Garcia, you had an amendment?
Yeah, for conditions of approval, I'd like to recommend or suggest that we add a condition or revise one of the conditions of approvals to reconsider the tree species on the right side of the property.
Do you have a particular tree species in mind?
I'm not a landscape architect, but we'll have to defer to the professionals on that. I'm asking for a tree that doesn't grow as high as 25 feet or 35 feet.
I know for our landscape requirements, when it's abutting homes, we do have what we call type A requirement, which is they would need to provide either small trees or large trees. For small trees, I believe it's 30 feet from each other with either a 6-foot high block wall or a 6-foot high hedge. So that's why we have the trees on the side. We don't have a condition as far as the type of trees. I know we do have I believe it's evergreen trees that we ask for, but it's not in our conditions of approval. So we can look at like different types of trees during the review.
And I don't
for the
want to make this
landscaping.
complicated. I just want it to be reconsidered.
Yeah,
Again.
Madam Chair, members of the Planning Commission, Commissioner Garcia, we have a palette we can work from. If it's a matter of just substituting the trees with trees that don't grow as high as 25 feet, is that the concern? We can definitely do that. And it seems like the applicants are more than willing to work with us on that regard. So we'll take care of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any further discussion? I'll go ahead and entertain a motion at this time.
I'd like to make a motion to accept staff's recommendation that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-016, approving conditional use permit 2313.
I'll second.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Vice Chair Daly?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ivan Garcia?
Yes.
Vice Chair Galandi?
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item number 4, I think we're on? 4.
4.
Good evening, it's me again. Good evening, I'm Chantel Choice with this Senior Planner with the City of San Bernardino Planning Division. I'm here to present item number 4, Conditional Use Permit 23-14. Conditional Use Permit 23-14 is a request to develop a quick service restaurant with a drive-through on a parcel containing approximately 0.48 acres located on the southwest corner of West 2nd Street and former Bungalow Court within the Commercial General 1 and Transit Overlay District. The proposed project is within the Commercial General 1 zone. The sites to the east is also within the Commercial General 1. To the west, we have the 215 freeway. To the north is the Commercial Regional 1 zone. And to the south is the Central City South zone. The project site is currently vacant. It is surrounded by the commercial center that encompasses Ross and also Didi's Discount. We have to the west the 215 freeway. To the property to the east is also a shopping center. To the north is a car dealership. And to the south, we have different offices and other commercial uses. The proposed project, just to give a background, the project site was approved for a conditional use permit on October 11th, 2022. The Planning Commission approved conditional use permit 21-04, allowing the development of a drive-through restaurant, The Habit Burger. Since the approval of the conditional use permit 21-04, the applicant/owner has decided not to move forward with the project. Since the project site was previously entitled to allow the development of a drive-through restaurant, a modification to the previous conditional use permit is needed since the operator and the establishment of the building and the site layout have changed. The proposed project will consist of a 950 square foot quick service restaurant with drive-through. Operations will be 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. There will be 3 to 4 employees per shift, with 1 dedicated for traffic control. The site will have ingress access to drive-through lanes from one 24.5-foot wide driveway. Direct ingress will be from one 12-foot wide driveway, and direct ingress and egress access from one 26-foot wide driveway. There will be 2 drive-through lanes for ordering. Here we have the site looking from West 2nd Street. The site is currently vacant. Here we have the property, the site plan, showing the 2 drive-through lanes that will merge into one once they pass the ordering board. I believe they will have attendants outside as well, just to cut down on traffic when it is heavier traffic. The site will have landscaping throughout with trees, plants. Also, there will be a buffer of plant materials between the sidewalk and the patio area along 2nd Street. Here we have elevations facing the north and the south. The north will be facing 2nd Street. The south will be facing towards this shopping center. Here we have the west and the east elevations. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-017, finding the project categorically exempt pursuant to section 15332 infill development projects in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, and approving conditional use permit 23-14 based on the findings of facts and subject to recommended conditions of approval. I also have a correction to the resolution, like the previous project. On page 3 of the resolution for the environmental determination, number 4, it reads, the determination of CEQA exemption reflects the independent judgment of the Development and Environmental Review Committee. That should be corrected to say Planning Commission. And that concludes staff presentation. The applicant is here for any questions.
Thank you, Chantal. I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing at 6:57 p.m. If the applicants would like to speak, I don't have a speaker card.
Good evening. My name is John Cagley. I'm with Dutch Bros Coffee. I believe this will be our third location in the city. We just opened one about 6 months ago off of University Drive, and we've been ecstatic to be here, and we're looking forward to opening another store in this beautiful city. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there any questions by the commissioners? We'll start with Commissioner Daly.
Thank you. So the site, I'm very familiar with the site. So the main ingress and egress is going to be off of Second Street, right? And is that?
That's correct.
What kind of improvements to that street? What is the name of that street?
So that is former Bungalow Court. It was vacated. So portions of that section, it does belong to the property now, and that's where the main ingress and egress will be.
So what kind of improvements to that vacated road are going to be made to accommodate the development?
So they did push out the site, so there will be, the site was pushed out further, so it did take up some of the portions of the street. It still meets the requirements for access, but that's what was modified.
Are you talking about like
property.
road, Casey? Like, is the road gonna be?
Yeah, like the road condition itself. I'm looking at a picture of a map. Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay.
That's not a very well-maintained strip of asphalt, particularly when you're cutting around the back end of the parking lot, going to those shops that are, I guess, on the southern side of the site.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, are you talking about the access to?
Yes.
Okay, so are you talking right along here?
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
exactly what I'm
So
talking
yeah,
about.
we did talk with, have a meeting actually with the fire department, because yes, when they did go into the, take up their property, when they vacated, when they did expand their property, that did become more narrow. So for that, if I could go back to, so there is still access to the rest of the shopping center. There will still be drive lanes right where you're seeing that small pinch. We did require that to be a exit so that, and it will have the signs just so no one won't enter. So it will be easier for if fire needed to access those buildings, that they will be able to exit out of there.
Okay.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Daly, to answer your question, the Public Works Department has some conditions of approval as far as, if you go to condition, I don't know if you have your agenda with you. Condition number in Resolution 2025-017, condition number 42 talks about on-site street improvements and dedications, and it kind of goes from there. So there are some requirements that may address some of the concerns that you may have, and I think that's probably where you were going with this, is there are some conditions related to that, so.
Looks like there's some rehab, Casey.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
And then my understanding is also there will be a concrete median on Second Street to prevent illegal left-hand turns
Right.
Yes.
instead of just the painting. Any other questions for the applicant or staff? Commissioner?
I have a question. Will this also include a walk-up window?
Yes, all of our stores are primarily drive-through, but we do have a window for customers that do want to walk up. But primarily, our business is about 85% drive-through, 15% walk-up, yes.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other comments? No? At this time, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:02 p.m. and entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll move staff's recommendation.
I just wanted to provide or give a comment.
Sure.
Thanks to the staff I like the ingress and egress for this location, and then the trash enclosure is great. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Chair Sherrick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill,
Yes.
Commissioner Daly,
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Galandi.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 5? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Travis Martin, Principal Planner with the Planning Division. For item 5 this evening, we're actually going to be requesting a continuance on this item. Fortunately, we found out a little bit earlier this afternoon there was some, I'll say some additional technical analysis that we realized was not included in the packet for you. We do want to make sure that you have the full information when you do consider the item. We have spoken to the applicant about this as well. They did concur with the continuance. So what we would be requesting is to just move it to the next regular meeting. That would be May, I believe, 13th. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate the help. And we will bring forward a new report and resolution at that time.
Thank you. Is there a motion to continue the item to May 13th?
So moved.
Second.
Call for the vote.
Chair Sherrick,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill,
Yes.
Commissioner Daly,
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia,
Yes.
Commissioner Galandi.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Item number 6?
All right. Good evening, Commissioners. Once again, Mike Rosales, Senior Planner. So item number, well, let me get there first. Item number 6 this evening is Development Permit Type P 24-02 and Amendment and Conditions 24-01. The proposed project is site and architectural review of 22 single-family homes on a previously approved tract map 10302. There's some updates to the previously approved tract map conditions. It falls on the northwest corner of Palm Avenue and Piedmont Drive within the residential suburban zone. Here we have the aerial map. It is surrounded by like uses, single-family homes. Here we have the zoning designation map, surrounded by residential suburban, single-family homes. All right, in our analysis this evening, on June 26, 1978, the Mayor and Common Council approved tentative tract number 10302, which expired in the mid-1980s. The project was resubmitted for approval on November 19th of 1996. An original initial study confirmed no significant environmental effects with the mitigation measures that were put in place, and the Development and Environmental Review Committee reviewed the project on February 6, 1997, recommending approval to the Planning Commission. On March 19, 1997, the Planning Commission approved tentative tract number 10302, which subdivided an 8.5-acre site into 22 single-family lots. The final map was recorded, and DPD 24-02 is for the home design only and the amendment. With this application, the amendment to conditions would be updating 2 items from the original tentative tract approval. These updates modify the drainage and flood control and grading and landscaping conditions, replacing outdated landscape maintenance agreements with community facility districts. The proposed 22 single-family homes on 22 lots comply with the city's general plan and development code for the residential suburban zone. The proposed residential development will feature 2 architectural plans with Spanish or Tuscan design themes. Plan 1 includes 12 units, each 2,000 square feet with 3 bedroom and 2.5 bath, while Plan 2 consists of 10 units, each at 2,300 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bath. Both plans include 2-car garages. The 2-story homes will vary in width, massing, and roof configuration, blending with the existing neighborhood. Exterior features will include warm earth tones, decorative lighting, recessed areas, tile accents, foul shutters, exposed corbels, stone veneer, window mullions, and a combination of gable hip roofs with S-tile roofing. Here we have our site plan. You can see the circulation. Here we have our first floor plan and second floor plan for Plan 1, which I believe is Spanish. This would be for the Tuscan style plan, first floor plan and second floor plan. And here we have Plan 1, the Spanish elevations for what it will look like. And then Plan 1 for the Tuscan. Plan 2 for the Spanish. Plan 2 for the Tuscan. So the proposed single-family residential developments will include a split-face decorative block wall around the perimeter of the track, and will have fencing between each property to delineate individual lots. The applicant proposes a mix of drought-tolerant, non-invasive 1-gallon and 5-gallon shrubs, along with 24 inches and 36-inch box trees, in addition to ground cover and perennials, as part of the perimeter and front yard landscape design. All species have a low water usage per the WUCOs, and complies with the city's development code and landscape design guidelines. The proposed project aligns with the general plan goals and policies through quality architecture, development, and treatments, and the site will be developed to enhance its physical and visual qualities with substantial landscaping, thereby improving the area's aesthetics. Additionally, the proposal will transform the existing underutilized property into a development that meets the city's land use and community design goals while satisfying the development code requirements. Here we have our landscape design. It includes forest pansy redbud, Australian willow, palo verde, pistache, dwarf bottlebrush, margarita bop beard tongue, say that 5 times fast, and natal plume. All low water and deciduous. So here we have our existing site as is. And here we have a rendering for what that same site would look like with the completion of the project. So our recommendation this evening is that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-015, finding the previous environmental determination in accordance with section 15162 of CEQA, and approving development permit type P 24-02, and amendment to conditions 24-01, based on the findings of fact and subject to the recommended conditions of approval. And I believe the applicant is here, and I could take any questions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rosales. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:10 p.m. and we'll hear from the applicant.
Hello, Brian King with Monte Vista Homes. We agree with the conditions as presented, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and take our first public speaker, Dolores Armstead. Okay, we'll go ahead and move to Reginald.
You got your fight on your hands. Good evening, Commission. I'm Reginald Sellis, born and raised in this valley. I'm 88 years old. I've seen a lot of conditions going on in that property out there. This isn't the first time somebody's tried to develop the property. We've gone through lots when they put 2- and 3-story houses wanted back there, and they were denied because how would you like to be doing something in your bedroom and you've got to close the blinds or something like that, and some idiot sitting out of this 3rd story there watching everything you do? I don't think any of you would like that. Not a bit of it. If it was your wife, your mother, your kids, or whatever it is, that would not be. So we don't need these 3-story concoction or 2-story concoction along on that property. A single-story house might be acceptable. And besides, they need to build the bridge out of concrete and steel reinforcement across Piedmont, because the water that runs up above, runs down the hill from up above, feeds right into that Baldrige Canyon Creek. And I've seen it go from about 5 feet across to now over 10 or 12 feet. So it needs to be, and that means no honeydew type of construction of, shall we say, a galvanized pipe and packs with dirt and asphalt on top. That's a really cheesy way of trying to do things. Now, so that's my main concern is, and also, how about the easement behind the property down the south end of it? Everybody, there's 5 telephone poles that run through up there. They feed the electric and the cable and the telephone service to all those houses along that perimeter. Now, another thing is, if it gets approved, and I hope it doesn't, is that when they dig and excavate the land, they're going to have to dig in on a level basis from the south end of the property to the north and have a rise for the next one down the line. Because it's my house, which is built right in the middle of the bottom down there. I've got an 8-foot drop from the property above to my house. I had to build a retaining wall that's 4 feet tall to accumulate all the dirt so it wouldn't come in. And each time they excavated the ground up there or retilled it for weed control, the dirt got pushed further south.
Thank
and
you,
put
Reginald.
more weight on my retaining wall.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Well, then but things need to be considered.
Thank you.
They cut into the land to develop it.
Thank you.
Take the time, table it.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Pamela Johnson.
My name is Pamela Johnson. I live at 3517 Piedmont Drive. I'm right on the edge of, across the gully from this project. I don't have a problem with them developing their land. We don't want the street to become a through street. Now, they changed the city plan. They told us in '97, a whole bunch of the neighbors came down and they said that they would not make it a through street. They were at that time talking about a crosswalk for the children, just a walkway. About 10 years or so ago, somebody showed up with a backhoe and started digging and pushing dirt over on my property, and I questioned him. And we went to a city planning meeting, and they said, "Oh, well, we're gonna make the road go through, but we're gonna put posts that only the fire department can unlock in case of fire so that they have fire access." So we said, okay, but we were never invited to make this decision or help with it. We kind of just happened to get wind of it because of the backhoe. So I'm here to ask you, what have you done now? Have you changed the city plan again, or is it still going to be not a through street? I have a newspaper article from '97 about these children that are so happy that the city has bowed to the wishes of the residents to keep Piedmont a dead end on each side of the gully. And they were happy because they can still have their little trail to go through. We're concerned about the construction of Piedmont Drive. That's what we want to know about. You can build the houses, but we don't need all that traffic. It's so bad right now with the casino that they have to post a policeman on the corner of Piedmont Drive and Orange, which is the next main street that goes over after this project. On the weekends, they have to post a policeman there to make sure that, and they have big signs that say, no access to casino, only residents only. So we definitely don't need that drive to go through and the traffic coming down. We've already got a problem. People down on the other end of Piedmont can't even get out of their driveways because people are trying to cut up through there to get over to the casino. They'll be coming down from Walmart if you do this, if you open this up. And I don't know what they've done behind our back. I don't know what does this mean, the construction of Piedmont Drive? Can anybody tell me that?
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Madam Chair, I don't know if you have additional speakers, but we have the city engineer who can address that issue if you would like.
We have a few more speakers, and then we'll ask that question. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Craig Strawharge? Craig?
Hello, my name's Craig Strawbridge.
Strawbridge, thank you.
Yeah. And, yeah, I live just across, my backyard is the gully right there. And I've been in that neighborhood, or I've been in that house for almost 40 years. So I've seen a lot of stuff come and go. Some Mormon church tried to say they were going to put a community there. Once the city said the fire department and the police have to have access, so we're going to have you put this bridge up. And the cost of that bridge they just said, no, we can't do that. It's too much money. So all I'm saying is, I don't care about the houses either. That's going to happen in any empty lot. Somebody's going to do something like that. But the thruway, there's a lot of kids from our area that cross through that area with little kids, adults, and they have to walk through that ditch. But now they're going to be on this bridge. If there's a bridge to be made, if that's what they're asking for, it has to have sidewalks and curbs. Otherwise, the kids are going to be on the street, and these cars do not go slow. Anybody that's going to be on that street is not going to be going 15 miles an hour. They're going to be going 40 plus. So I'm against, because I love the cul-de-sac life, you know, the traffic is slow. They still go up your street maybe a little too fast, but that's going to be a freeway. So I'm against the bridge going, if that's what they plan on doing.
Okay. Thank
That's
you.
it.
I have 3 more speakers that I don't believe were sworn in. Is that correct? If we can have Carl, Renee, and I believe Catherine stand to be sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give before this body will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do.
Thank you. We'll start with Carl and then Renee and Catherine.
Good evening, board. My name is Carl Jones. I live at 2876 Cole Avenue, neighbor of Craig down the street. This has been bothering me because there's a lot of drainage with the weather changing like it is. That road, that gully enlarges and sometimes it diminishes, but it also, I believe that belongs to the county because that's a flood control issue. The drainage from those mountains come down through that area all the time. And I don't think a bridge is gonna help it, but like my friend said, I don't care about the homes, but I care about that gullyway because it not only helps the wildlife that come through there, possums, coyotes, all that come through there, but the families in this area walk their dogs, ride their bikes, all this come through this area, whichever way they come through it, but they come through it. A bridge is not going to be the answer. The traffic is horrible, and it's going to get worse because those numbskulls from out of town going to use it for a shortcut, and that's going to increase revenue expenditure on the tribe who's already paying for some type of control, and it's just not going to work. So I suggest that we build the house, squash the bridge, and make sure that there's implementation. If you're going to build those homes, that shoreline, because sure enough, when the rains come through, it's going to eat away. That shoreline is going to cut back either way, and now we're going to have another issue about homes being in danger from rapid floods. Thank you.
Thank you. Reese Williams. I'm sorry, Renee Williams.
I'm here today to voice my strong opposition to the proposed development of the new homes. This development represents a fundamental shift in the character and functionality of a neighborhood many of us have called home for years. This intersection is already congested during peak hours, school hours, with residents struggling to navigate safely through the area. They park their cars 3 out into the wider portion of the street. So no residents can get out. The traffic study provided by the developer fails to account for real-world conditions that those of us who live there experience every day, including evacuations. We were evacuated this past September. This road, Palm Avenue, is the only access to all of us who live at the top of Palm in Amber Hills. Also, 0.3 miles away at the corner of Highland and Palm Avenue, they have not finished construction on the vacant Richmond homes, which have not even been purchased. This has closed half of the street for months. And you want to build new stuff that none of us can get out of? I'm concerned. I'm concerned with the safety. Are any of you thinking about the rest of us in the area? Our water system is operating near capacity, and recent drought conditions have only highlighted these limitations. Similarly, this is across from a school. The school doesn't have enough parking as it is. So now you've added all of this that the kids have to get through, and there's already a parking issue with the parents when they pick up and drop off. How's that going to work? We're all trapped up there. We can't even get out to, I work at the hospital. I can't get out because you've built all of these new homes. That's not responsible at all. I don't understand. I urge the council to reject this proposal and request the developer to return with a plan that better respects our community's character, infrastructure limitations, and environmental concerns. Let's grow Highland responsibly, not just rapidly. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine?
Hello, I'm Catherine Irvin, 3705 Holly Vista Drive. I'm on the Palm Avenue side. In addition to all that my neighbors and friends have stated, I'm going to respectfully request that you not adopt 2025-015. The environmental impact study is from 1997, before the San Manuel developed the land above Amber Hills. So there is currently development well north of this project that is likely to impact, as my neighbor has said, the water flow in the area. In addition, there is no, in the current plan, there is no bridge, or there is a bridge, but we're talking about the exit for those of us north of Piedmont. There are 9 streets north of Piedmont that have no exit except Palm Avenue. It has been, the area has been declared part of the fire hazard severity zone per the state fire marshal. That means the likelihood of there being a severe fire and our being evacuated is severe. So we'd like some consideration for those factors, and we would like to humbly request that a review be redone, that I don't think the current study accurately reflects the climate or the environment that's going to impact this development.
Thank you. And then we have representatives from Public Works.
Good evening, Commission. Azam Jafshe, Public Works City Engineer. Relative to all the questions that was presented to you tonight, Piedmont will not go through. For the simple reason is that the is going to offer a lot of challenges currently with this project as far as building a bridge, going through the approval process with Fish and Games, and then the erosion control that will occur on both sides. The channel actually is not under the county flood. All the lots on both sides are owned privately by the homeowners along that stretch of roadway, number one. Number two, even though the circulation element of the general plan from 2005 called for the street to be punched through, what we're going to do is defer this to a future CIP project when we collect enough development impact fees under the local circulation element of the plan so we can address it properly in a proper way. But this project will not be conditioned to punch through from Piedmont on either side.
Thank you. And as far as the drainage is concerned, you said it's the individual lot owner's responsibility?
Yes, Brian here actually is from the development side, and he can speak on behalf of that. We're going to have the lots in the back past the wall into the drainage channel where it slopes in. That's going to be part of the CFD. So they'll be responsible for clearing that area upon the project completion if it's needed.
And then, thank you. Do we have any other questions for Public Works? Commissioner Garcia?
My questions were, as far as the topograph map, or I'm not sure if it's for you, Azam, what's the difference in elevations there from, because I was looking at some Google images and it looks like there's kind of a ditch there, a basin, existing basin. I think I saw like a manhole there or something.
I would say from the level, probably from 15 to 20 feet, but I'll have to defer that to Susan, our land development manager.
Yes, good evening. This is Susan Han, the land development and manager. From the top of the bank to the bottom of the channel is about 10 to 15 feet of elevation drop. And then on both sides, it's fairly leveled.
And I guess for the applicant, are they going to cut and fill or import any soil for this proposed project?
Turn your mic, yeah. Should be a button.
Okay. I don't believe we're gonna have a lot of import. I think we're balancing, pretty close to balancing on site. And like Susan was saying, on the other side, the existing homes, on the other side of the gully, we're gonna be, pretty even with them.
And then the other question I have for this project, are we gonna have any sort of retaining walls?
There will be a few, I think it's 2 lots. We've got some retaining walls.
Is that like on the north end or sides, south end?
Towards the south and towards the gully. The 2 lots, first 2 lots, I guess I'd say on the left-hand side. So, nope, go up, left. Right there.
Okay.
Those 2 have a short retaining, no, sorry. I was watching your finger, not the pointer. If you could drop the pointer down, right there, there's just a little retaining wall right there at the bottom of the slope. Not tall.
And then just my last question, how far away is the San Andreas fault line from this project, roughly?
2.5 miles, not even 2.
And then one other question for the development that's going on north of this project, proposed project, is that belong to the Seminole tribe, that property? Because I know I'm hearing from residents that there's a project that is ongoing or in construction. Sorry.
We're not aware of that as far as we know. To the north?
We can't have you yell at, sorry.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you for my questions.
Were you referring to the Richmond project?
It's basically just on Google Maps. I'm not sure there's, it
Were
looks
you
like it's
referring to
in
the one that the speaker spoke about, the
Yeah.
houses? Okay. Commissioner Daly, you have questions?
Thank you.
Sorry, sir, you've spoken. Your time you have spoken. There's no other. No, sir. Sir, your time, sir, your time, sir. This is your first warning, sir. You cannot shout out. No, sir, you are not being recognized. I'm gonna have to ask you to sit back down. Thank you. Sorry, Commissioner Daly?
No problem, thank you. I guess I'm just, maybe I need to better understand this. I'm having a hard time understanding how something from 1997 is coming back in front of us, and it doesn't seem like there's been any substantive evaluation or review or you know, in like 30 years.
So with the MAP's approval, the environmental was done concurrently. So they already looked at the 22 lots for the development in the future. So
are we,
once,
just so I'm clear, so if I get an environmental clearance done 30 years ago, that's still good right now?
if your map was finalized, correct.
If my what?
If your final tract map was finalized with the county of San Bernardino, then yes, it would be.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Daly, what is actually before you this evening is not the tract map itself.
Yeah.
It's the design of the proposed homes. So these lots were approved and the map was recorded. However, the construction hadn't taken place up to now. So whatever was approved is still as it was when it was approved back in 1997. Now that this item has been, the applicant is moving forward with proposed construction, the Planning Commission's review this evening has to do a lot with the design of the homes.
It's the design and the CFD, correct?
Right.
Correct, the amendment.
I guess it's a tract map that has been approved for like 30 years. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that because there's everything has a time limit, everything has a statute of limitations, and a tract map from 1997, I don't think anybody can argue that the environmental conditions have changed in the area in that time. And I realize, we're supposed to be looking at the architectural side of it, so I can understand that. Just as a comment, it just seems odd to me that a tract map that's 30 years old is still active and we're still reviewing projects that come from it. So that's all.
If I may, Commissioner, just to try to I'll give it my go. The map itself, as Gabriel was explaining, has been recorded. So that is not one parcel out there anymore as it originally was. It is the 22 individual lots, the right-of-way for the road, or within the neighborhood that exists. So that project is done. This is a separate action. The reference to the map is just more or less background on the project. It's just like any other neighborhood. We're not.
Is that part of the MAP Act, right? When
Yes, so it was all
recorded?
processed
Yes.
through that. It was
Part of the MAP Act, yeah.
just like with the development, as it were. If this gets approved or any of the other projects we've approved, once they're built, that's the action that we've approved. That item is now done. It exists for the record. Same thing with the map. The only action back when the map was approved was to get, the thing recorded, to get these lots subdivided. That has been completed. So we're not necessarily going back and reconsidering this map, simply providing that detail as part of the record of the project.
Yeah. Madam Chair, Commissioner Daly, I do understand your concern because in your mind you're thinking, and rightfully so, that this is a map that was approved in 1997. Why are we just bringing the design of it up in 2024? That is a good question. Whether you're also considering whether or not there's some kind of a sunset clause on the length of the or the validity of a map that was approved in 1997. Unfortunately, the map does not expire unless the map was never recorded in the first place. Then we would not have gone through the renewals and the extensions and so on and so forth. So as it stands, the map is in good standing. It's just so happens that with the timing of it, this is where we are today.
All right. Thank you for that explanation. So I have a couple other questions if I can. So then can we talk about the Piedmont connection or lack thereof? I think Public Works brought that up, that Piedmont is not getting connected.
Correct. Not going through?
Yes, Madam Chair, Commissioner Daly, Piedmont is not going to go through as part of this particular project and may not go through in the future. The concern was that when the circulation elements of the current general plan was approved, it was approved with Piedmont actually punching through. And that decision was appealed, and you know what all the outcome is. The neighbors in this area do not favor punching that road through. So with this particular project, the as you could see behind you with the exhibit, so the street would terminate right at the edge of where the property line actually is, and there will be posts that would prevent traffic from going through. Part of that consideration was that the cost to connect Piedmont from one end to the other should not be the responsibility of this one particular developer, because the benefit is more citywide. Everybody, would benefit from that road going through. And what should have happened over time was that we should have been collecting, impact fees for each particular subdivision, but there has been no subdivision built since the original subdivision was established. So we are going to take a very good look at what some of the options are as far as not making the road go through. And so that is where we are as far as this project is concerned.
Okay, thank you. So all of the ingress and egress then will be off of Palm?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Co-Chair Quill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. As Commissioner Daly was discussing this map, 30-year-old map, I would like to see that map. Is that a map identical to this road layout here? And
Mike, do we have the
30
exhibits?
years ago,
Your microphone.
Sorry. Yes, it is, and I believe, I'm sorry, can I borrow your?
30 years ago, in 30 years, we've experienced a lot of problems in our city. And this layout is terrible. The cul-de-sacs, the narrow roads from one curve to the other. There are so many cars out there now parking in front of houses. This area would be congested, very hard to get in and out of. And again, you end up with a fire truck problem, because I know fire trucks do not go into cul-de-sacs if they can't get out. I've experienced that twice in 2 fires here in San Bernardino. And this is a fire area also. So I think in 30 years, we've learned a lot of how this should be developed. Furthermore, Piedmont, if it ends here, how come it's not a cul-de-sac? I don't understand this layout. I think 30 years ago, when the Planning Commission approved this, I might have been on the Planning Commission. I think we've made some mistakes. So I think that needs to be looked at.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Quill, I'm actually looking at the exhibit of the original map, and it's exact replica of what's right behind
Is
you.
it?
It is,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, well, I think that was a real mistake. So in that case, either way, I can't see supporting this project personally. So that's just my opinion.
I would just add for your other comment, yes, we did look at the access as well. Obviously, we have a dead end and 2 cul-de-sacs, both fire and refuse. Both of our services with the vehicles of concern did look at the project. They did acknowledge that they can serve all properties. Fire specifically, the access from where they have, all of the homes are within the required distance thresholds that they have to be able to respond to anything. So that has been addressed, and they do support the current design.
Well, I appreciate that's been addressed, but I don't know, I think all of us driving down the street today see a lot of cars parked on the streets, and these streets are just standard width. You almost need to have them wider to get this equipment into these areas. So
Understood.
that really needs to be looked at somehow, but I don't know, it's a really terrible layout. Thank you.
Any further discussion by the commission? Does the applicant wish to rebuttal?
Yeah, just to the comment about the street widths, if the city wants wider street widths, they need to change their standards. This is all per city standard. My company wasn't around, wasn't familiar with this property when this was originally done. We didn't have anything to do with that, but this map was recorded. These are lots of record. That's all since the 60s or 70s, how all property was really created is by recording maps. And there's a lot of it sitting out there that was recorded a long time ago, 40, 50 years ago. Maps were recorded, and there's lots sitting there, and people come along and build them. So we believe this is going to be a good project, and we look forward to building it.
Thank you.
A question, how wide are these proposed streets? And
I don't recall off the top of my head.
I believe
don't
they're
know
in the conditions.
I don't have the map in front of me. It is in the conditions, yeah.
Yeah.
And Piedmont is the same width as the entire length of Piedmont. It's identical.
In the conditions of approval for Piedmont is 22 feet straight lane per lane is 22 feet. So total width is 44. And the fire department, their minimum street width is 26 feet. So we have 44 feet here.
so it's 44 feet on Piedmont, right?
Correct.
And then on Fry Lane, how wide are those? Just wanted to make a
They're
note of that.
18 feet per lane, per direction, so
So-
36 feet total width.
Thank you.
And that's a cul-de-sac private street.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:44 PM and entertain a motion. For clarification, staff, the motion is the design of the homes and entering the CFD.
That is correct, Chair.
Thank you. I'll
Right. Madam Chair, could you, Mr. Rosales, could you please repeat the recommendation on this particular project, please? Thank you.
So our recommendation this evening is that the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 2025-015, finding the previous environmental determination in accordance with section 15162 of the California Environmental Quality Act and approving development permit type P 24-02 and amendment to conditions 24-01 based on the findings of fact and subject to the recommended conditions of approval.
Thank you, Mr. Rosales.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'll move staff recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Can we call for the vote?
Yes. Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
No.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia? Yes. Commissioner
Yes.
Galandi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Vote passes 4-1.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. I believe that was our last staff report. Is that correct? Oh, we have one more. We have one more. Yes, correct. One more.
All right. Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and members of the public. Before we begin with tonight's presentation for the final item, I would like to let you know that there was some corrections and modifications to the resolution packet and then on the aerial map. On the resolution packet, we did updated the findings to the correct development permit. So we added findings number 3, I believe, and on the aerial map, we did provide the correct development site for this project. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christian James Calasan. I'm the assistant planner for the city of San Bernardino. Tonight, I'll be presenting development permit type P 24-05. Development permit type P 24-05 is a request to allow the establishment and development of a new Planet Fitness health club on an existing parcel and on an existing commercial center. This project is located at 112 West 40th Street on the northwest corner of North Sierra Way and West 40th Street. The zoning of this parcel site is commercial CG-1, and the proposed size of this development is roughly around 17,962 square feet. And it is also a part of a bigger commercial center, and this parcel alone is 1.28 acres. To give a short background, this vacant pad used to have 3 commercial buildings. These buildings used to have 3 tenants, which were a laundry facility, restaurant, and a convenience store. 4 years ago, this building was burnt down and it was demolished on February 17, 2021. This is the project zoning map. The location of the site is pointed on the map. As you guys can see, it is commercial general CG-1. On the western side of the property is residential suburban, which is RS zone, and on the northern property is a residential high, which is an existing apartment complex. The proposed use is allowed in the zone and is intended to provide retail, personal service, entertainment, and other similar uses, which is consistent with this Planet Fitness. But since it's a budding residential zone property, it gets triggered to be seen by the Planning Commission, which is why we are here. Here's the updated aerial map. As mentioned before, the development is within an existing commercial center, and it will be utilizing that vacant pad, and there will be some sort of a replacement just to update it and reconfiguring the existing pad. The vicinity within that area, as mentioned, has Cardenas Market, a Bank of America, fast food restaurant, and other commercial retail businesses. This picture was taken a few weeks ago to understand the scope and the conditions of the site. As you guys can see, there's a truck parked on the pad itself, and when I was there, I believe that person was sleeping and utilizing that pad. And we also received some complaints from Public Works Integrated Waste in regards to the complaint in regarding to the trash that it's accumulating on site, not necessarily this vicinity, this parcel, but within the trash within that area. Some people are complaining that because of the vacant pad that it's attracting unwanted constituents and unwanted things to be done on that site. Here's another view. This is on the western view of the property. And it's quite difficult to see the trash enclosure on the bottom right of the picture, but as you guys can see, there's some sort of dumping of the trash in that. The proposed business will operate from Monday to Sunday, and it will be a 24-hour service. It will have 7 existing driveways from North Sierra Way, West 40th Street, and 42nd Street, which I did not mention there. And it will also be accessed on North Mountain View Avenue. Those 7 driveways are existing, and this project will also be providing 21 additional parking spaces, which totaling a total of 358 parking spaces on this property. Here's the site plan. As I mentioned, you guys can see the 21 parking spaces that will be provided along the northern and western sides of the building. They will also be adding additional landscaping abutting the residential uses on the north and western side of the property. And here's the floor plan just to give you guys an understanding the types of amenities that they will have. They will have massage, spa, and open floor layout for the gym. And here's the elevation plan. Here's the eastern elevation plan, which is the frontage of the business. Here's the northern property and the western side, which will be abutting the residential view. The proposed design leans towards modern style architecture with the proposed materials, color scheme, and design, and the development include stucco, wood siding, and metal canopies. The proposed trash enclosure will also match the proposed design to keep it consistent, and it will also incorporate varied roof lines, decorative lighting, and wall accents to break apart the design of the exterior walls to give it some character and to make it visually appealing. Here's the proposed landscape. The applicant and their team are aimed to enhance the site by incorporating landscaping and trees that would complement the site, as they would also want to include additional buffering to the residential properties that it's abutting. They're proposing 12 24-inch box trees along the property line. And to give you guys a better understanding of the project and to give you a bit more of a visual aesthetics of what this project will look like on site, here are 2 renderings that was compiled by the applicant team, and this will how it look like on a nighttime. With that being said, staff's recommendation is for the Planning Commission to adopt Resolution 2025-019, finding the project categorically exempt pursuant to Section 15332 infill development projects in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, and approving development permit type P24-05 based on the findings of fact and subject to the recommended conditions of approval. I would like to inform you all that myself and the applicant are here to answer any of the question, and we did properly notice this project, and we did not receive any comments or letter. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 7:53 PM, and would the applicant like to speak? Yes.
Hello, members of the commission. My name is Wade Shuey, WSCS. I'm here to answer any questions you might have. It's been a long process, 14 months. The applicant is extremely happy to be getting this from a vacant lot to a business where he can have revenue and the city can bring in revenue from the sales of the gym. This lot is I've been pushing your city staff very hard on this lot. I know a lot of them don't like my calls because I'm trying to hold them to the fire because we have very strict time limits to get this thing built. So I appreciate all their help and look forward to getting it built with you guys.
Thank you. Is there any questions by the commission? Commissioner Daly?
I just had, not for the applicant, but on the resolution, I just wanted to clarify the property address. The documents that I see, 112 West 49th Street, APN 0154-241-42. So I'm just not sure if, the map says, looks like it's on 40th, but then the property address here in the resolution says 49th Street on the first page. Right.
Yes, yeah, I see that corrections. I'll go ahead and make that changes that it is actually on West 40th Street and not 49. Thank you for calling that out. I'll make those changes.
No problem. Otherwise, I'm good. No questions.
Commissioner Garcia?
I just had a question. I have a Planet Fitness gym membership. I was wondering if this gym is going to have more free weights or more dumbbells.
I can't speak
and
for the
higher weight.
I wish I could speak for the tenant, but I don't have that. And I tell you what, if you guys would allow me to get their application in like tomorrow, we'll find out. They're waiting with bated breath to they have their full design package, interior design package ready to go. We've been kind of waiting to see how this shook out today. So as soon as this is good and we have some green lights, you guys are more than welcome to go pull it open. And I don't know what's really going in their interiors. We've been contracted to do the shell and core and work with them on the design of the building.
All right,
Thank you. No other comments. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:55 and entertain a motion.
I'll move staff's recommendation.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Chair Sherrick?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quill?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Ivan Garcia?
Yes.
Commissioner Galandi?
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any reports or announcements by the Planning Commission? Would our new commissioner like to introduce herself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ronika Galande. I am the new Planning Commissioner for Ward 5. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to seeing the city thrive and see more development coming to our city. So, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Any comments or reports by any of the other commissioners? Commissioner Garcia?
I had a comment. I wanted to share my experience when I went to building and safety earlier this week.
If we could have the conversation outside, please. Thank you.
So I was bidding a project for the city. It's an ADU. And what got approved by the city, or what was approved, what wasn't reflected what was really out on site. So I just ask if building and safety can do, I don't know if we can, as part of the application process, that we can have request the applicant to provide existing photos of the conditions, because it's not fair to me as a general contractor that's bidding it, and there's another bidder we're not bidding basically apples to apples. It's gonna be apples, oranges, and pears. So we're not bidding the same scope of work. I'd like to ask our department if there's a better process or procedure that we can follow to prevent this, because I think it's not fair to the homeowner, the client that is looking to build this, because it'll result in change orders and a little bit of delay. So I think we should take this as a learning curve. Like I said, it was an existing 2-car garage. They added illegally to the back of this garage. the original structure was 18 by 20, and what was really out there, or what was really shown on the drawings, it showed 18 by 24. So they added 4 feet, they added a restroom and a shower, and what was approved on the drawings was an 18 by 24, and that's not the case. The original structure, again, was 18 by 20. So I want to know if the department can come up with a better procedure process to preventing this in the future.
Perhaps this would be a conversation offline. It's not agendized, and it's.
Sorry, I just wanted to, because it's related to our building and safety, and I
It
wanted to.
is, but it's not agendized, and so we can't discuss it.
Okay, and then just, okay, one other thing just to wrap it up. I just wanted to say kudos to Mike Rosales for, I think it's a good idea, similar to the project that we just spoke about into tonight's agenda, to provide a list of items that, construction item repairs that doesn't require a permit. I think that's a good idea to provide at our building and safety department. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Do we have any other comments? Question, no. Do we have a director's report?
Madam Chair, members of the Planning Commission, I would like to join you in welcoming our new Planning Commissioner. Thank you for volunteering your time, and feel free to bother us with questions and so on and so forth. We want to make your experience as a Planning Commissioner as seamless as possible. We want you to be able to participate fully in the development review process. From that particular standpoint, I had a meeting with the city attorney yesterday, and we may be having a training session for the new commissioners. It looks like we have Commissioner Pratt, Commissioner Glande, and Commissioner Carloni. Yes, so maybe training on the Brown Act and things of that nature, so that when you understand the process of what it means to be a commissioner and how you communicate either at meetings or outside of meetings and so on and so forth.
And I think they need their binders too.
Yes. We will be providing you with those binders. Thank you.
Oh, one other item, I did want to request, can we get an updated contact list, phone numbers and emails of the planning commissioners?
Absolutely, we have one already. Yes, we'll send that to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have this flyer.
Madam Chair, as members of the community, you are free to attend that event. However, if more than a quorum of you attend the event, that automatically becomes being subject to the Brown Act. Just make sure when you go, don't talk about, projects and planning issues. You talk about, the size of the room or the size of the lot or whatever. But as planning commissioners, you need to be sensitive to those kinds of things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
I do have a quick question. I'm sorry I didn't bring it up earlier. What is the status on the broken up concrete up on the north end of, I forget what that was called, some Canyon?
Palm Avenue?
Yes.
Are you the Oxbow project?
Yes.
Okay. We are at the tail end of doing some analysis on what is not just the best option, but what is the environmentally superior option of that particular pile. It's been there for the last 4 or 5 years. It's getting to the point where we are actually working very, very closely with consultants to provide some analysis. We did do an analysis on the debris itself back in 2020. We're going to redo that analysis in 2024-25 to bring you, so that when we make a decision, I want there to be all T's crossed and all I's dotted, so that there are no questions as to how did we arrive at this particular juncture. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Okay. One more quick question, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few housing projects that I believe have maps approved up in that area, that
Mm-hmm.
north end.
Yeah.
And they have been lingering out there for years also.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand if the maps are approved, then they can bring back the development anytime? Or is there a time that the maps run out if they're not developed?
So Commissioner Quill, the maps themselves do not run out. What might be of consideration would be if there are other conditions that relate to that map. For example, if they have to demonstrate compliance or pulling permits within a specified period of time. If that doesn't occur, if the map has been approved, it can sit for quite some time. So,
Thank you.
I also had one follow-up. At the last meeting, I asked for a list of temporary certificates of occupancy. And so I was just wondering if there was an update on when that list will be coming back to the commission.
Madam Chair, our building official is working on that list as we speak. And we'll be providing you with that information at the next Planning Commission meeting.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other follow-ups real quick? No? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting to our next meeting, which is May 13th. Thank you.